Marshall D. Teach is easily one of my favorite characters from One Piece. Not because of his power, but because I tend to gravitate towards intelligent characters, and Teach is simply one of these characters. At first sight, he appears to be stupid, but this man has managed to achieve one thing which has broken the rules of the One Piece world, and one of these things is ownership of 2 devil fruits. We are going to explore hints and clues which have been placed throughout the One Piece manga and anime, which I hope people have picked up on. There are 2 instances of how to get devil fruit powers. Teach must have taken something from Whitebeard's corpse in order to gain the Quake fruit ability. How we know this is simply due to the fact that he had the corpse of Whitebeard covered before beginning the devil fruit extraction process. Now, due to the length of this process, he had his teammates stand by and cover him. From what we know so far, when a devil fruit user dies, their power reforms into a specific type of fruit, not too far away from where its user died. We have seen this as a nearby apple was reformed into the salamander fruit when Smiley died. Now, based on this knowledge, Blackbeard would have had the specific fruit in which the Quake fruit would have reincarnated into within his possession, which would make a lot of sense, as Teach has studied devil fruits and most likely recalls what specific fruit the Quake fruit would have been reborn into. If it was only a matter of presenting a fruit near Whitebeard's corpse so it can transform into the Quake fruit, so Teach can consume it, there would have been no need to hide the whole process. The reason for this is because when we learned about the devil fruit and reincarnation process, it was reported by a common henchman in Dressrosa. And if it was reported by a character which can be considered fodder, we can assume that the devil fruit reincarnation process is probably or most likely common knowledge amongst people within the new world. So in that case, there would have been absolutely no need for Teach to hide what he was doing. Are you with me so far? Good. There would not have been any reason for Blackbeard to go near Whitebeard after his death to acquire his fruit, as it would have reincarnated into Teach's fruit, which he has on him instantaneously as it did when Smiley died. That whole concealing thing should not have happened in that case, but it did, which means that that was not the method Teach used to extract Whitebeard's devil fruit. The second instance is Big Mom eating Mother Caramel, which got her the power of the Soso fruit, which previously, of course, belonged to Mother Caramel. Now, what did these 2 instances have in common? The answer is the corpse of the previous user. What Teach's concealment taught us was that you need the corpse of the previous user. What Big Mom's situation taught us was that when the previous user is eaten, you gain the power. Now, does this not sound familiar? If you have watched Hajime Isayama's Attack on Titan, then the concept of passing on power might not sound so strange. In Attack on Titan, the Eldian race have 2 ways of passing on the power of the Titans. The first method is by consuming the person who is in possession of the power of one of the 9 Titans. And the second method is that when the power of the 9 Titans is not passed on through method 1, the power of the Titan will reincarnate within a random Eldian baby somewhere in the world of Attack on Titan. Does that not sound familiar? This might be a similar concept of devil fruits. Now, I'm not saying that Blackbeard ate the whole of Whitebeard's corpse. That sounds a bit ridiculous. That's practically impossible. Now, in Attack on Titan, we learned that you don't actually need to eat the whole body of the person you're trying to steal the power from. Instead, it seems that the power of the Titan resides within a specific part of the body, which is the spine. It is the spinal fluid which contains the power. So actually, it's just a simple case of biting into the spine to get to the spinal fluid in order to steal the power for yourself. Now, after Blackbeard came out of the cloth which he used to cover Whitebeard, it was said by one of the marine spectators that it didn't seem like any modifications were made to Whitebeard's body. Now guys, let me tell you why this spectator is wrong. Allow me to remind you that due to the courtesy of Squad and Akainu, Whitebeard already had a puncture in his body and half of his face ripped off, which is exactly what Teach would have needed, and because of that, he didn't have to do that himself. This is why it may have appeared that Teach never made any modifications to his body, when in reality he probably never needed to do that in the first place since it was already done for him. All Teach needed to do was go in there, find which part of the body which is the host of the devil fruit, consume it, and voila! He has taken the power of Whitebeard before the power went into a new host nearby, which could have been an apple, banana, or whatever the Quake fruit's original form is. So click on the left to see who would win in a battle between Momoshiki and Kaguya, and click on the right to see if Kaguya's whole arc in the anime was actually filler. If you have made it to the end of this video, make sure you subscribe and leave a hashtag "we made it" in the comment section down below, because you are amazing.